Alright, so you already know that when we're in a drought, the leakers are always coming through with the shit. So we got some shit today. As you already know, just yesterday was the 20th anniversary of the Dreamcast and Sonic Adventure in America, even though, you know, Japan got it like a year before with an earlier, buggier version, long story. But the point is, Adventure is 20 years old. Now, we already know Sega like to do what other people have done. Crash got remakes. Spyro got remakes. They've been doing all sorts of adventure kind of hints on Twitter, so we know. In our hearts, we know they're working on some adventure shit. But I don't mean that all the leaks that we see are fully real. Either way, we saw some shit on 4chan, someone showed it to me on Twitter. I was like, you know what, I might as well do a video on this and see what it's about, because even though this leak may not be real, it's about adventure, and I love adventure. So let's read. It says, Sonic Adventure Remake details by Mr. BioLizard. Now, this happened on the 3rd of September. He says, I've resigned from Sega of Europe. The Sonic Adventure Remake is happening. So far, you know, 50-50. I believe the second part. Not for this year, though. Also believe that. It's known by us as Project Rerun. Daddy Zook has been planning this for a long time, which makes sense because remember that video I made back in, I think, December, when Izuka did an interview, this is official, it's not a rumor, where he said he makes me want to remake it, like, about adventure. Like, he clearly expressed interest in remaking adventure. This was in December, and then it says here actual game development started in March. So if you were saying that in December, it would make kind of sense that development would start in March, because like he's saying it, maybe I'll remake adventure back in December 2018, and then March 2019 they start development. Question is, what were they doing before then? Because Forces came out 2017. Were they prepping already for the Adventure remake? Because I know they don't actually start development straight away, like they do some kind of planning shit. I don't know, maybe they have to do another engine, I don't know, but it kind of fits. He says there will be rerun and original mode. Rerun is the remake, original is the remaster. That's actually kind of interesting, because I was kind of thinking when it said rerun and original, I was thinking like how you have like those remakes where, you know, like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is like a port, but like they have that new mode which is like new features, and then the original mode is the original game. But this is kind of like, I thought Re1 would be like new features, and then original mode would still be a remake, but then with no additional features. But here it's saying original is the remaster, so they're literally gonna take original Sonic Adventure, maybe upscale it, add some new textures, and just remaster it, and then the remake is like the rerun. I don't know. And since it's 2019 and some of you still don't know the difference between a remake and a remaster, a remake is from the ground up. Like Crash Insane Trilogy remakes the original games from the ground up, adds new features, and it's basically a brand new game. Remaster is like Sonic Adventure DX, where you just port the game, add and tweak a few things off the original game, which you just ported the code, and call it a day. Remember that. They're not the same. Even companies get it wrong as well, just for the record. So, it says Rerun brings back some abilities from other Sonic games. Because Azuka's in charge of this, let's just get this out of the way. Abilities better not include Wisps. Abilities better not include Classic Sonic. Abilities better not include 2D. As long as we got that out of the way, then the question is, what are they going to add? Because there's no mode without these abilities, because original is just a remaster. If you want to play the remade version with the updated, fully updated visuals with no new abilities, it seems like there won't be a mode for that. So if they add some shit that you don't like Rocket Wisp, or I don't know, they could add, maybe they're just gonna add good things like Bounce Bracelet from SA2, or Light Speed Dash without charging it up, which honestly charging up is kind of nostalgic for me because I grew up with Adventure. But you know, maybe it's just little things like that and not big things like, you know, he can boost now. You know, they better not do that. They better not do that. I'll go crazy. Don't do that shit, Daddy Zook. Big the Cat still present gameplay wise. I think that's fair. I mean, I didn't really like Big Story that much in Adventure, but it was a nice break from the rest of the game. As long as they make the fishing a bit more accurate, so it's not as much of a burden to play it. Music is slightly altered in Rerun, so obviously some music remixes or whatever. Both games are packaged as one new title. Announcement is planning to be during South by Southwest 2020. I guess that would probably pin it for a mid to late 2020 release. But actually, like, I mean, just because it's been announced 2020 doesn't mean it's coming out 2020. I mean, I would have thought they'd want to release it alongside the movie, but maybe that's what this mobile game is for. They released that alongside the movie so they can sell something alongside the movie. We'll have ads or whatever, and then maybe they'll announce the Adventure Remake in 2020, drop it 2021. I don't know. maybe they'll drop it 2020, but Izuka said 2021 was going to be a big year for Sonic, so if he's dropping Adventure Remake in 2020, you ain't dropping that shit in 2021. Let's put it that way. Unless they do Adventure 2, which I prefer Adventure 1, but that would be the only thing they could do that could kind of top it in the eyes of some people. I don't know the actual release date. There's another Sonic game from mobile developed for 2020. That's it for now. P.S. The project is in good hands. That's how we know it's fake, because he said the project's in good hands. Okay, but to be fair, I'm joking. To be fair, Christian Whitehead and his team have formed some kind of group called Evening Star, I think that's the name. And maybe they're working alongside Sonic Team on this remake, which might mean it actually is in good hands, because clearly they weren't talking about Sega's hands. Let's just say that. But what do I think about this information, putting the potential that it's fake aside? It doesn't seem that outrageous when you read it. Like, it doesn't seem like anything is ridiculous or unbelievable here. So believability is high, but that doesn't mean it's real, obviously. But sometimes they do leak shit. Like, for example, the werewolf was leaked before release. Like, someone leaked that online and said we're getting a werewolf, and it happened. So it's possible. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say this is not possible. All of this seems pretty believable. My biggest concern here with an Adventure Remake in general is them fucking up the control, but my biggest concern based on this information here is those abilities from other Sonic games. What are they bringing back, and are they going to bring back the wrong ones? You know, as we discussed already, hopefully it's a good one, like a bounce bracelet or something like that, not a wisp, nothing boost related, nothing like that, you know, and then we'll be fine. But let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think it's true? Do you think we're getting an Adventure Remake? Do you think this particular details that we just got are true? Do you like the information here, whether you believe it or not? Do you dislike the information? What do you want to see in an Adventure Remake? Let your boy know. And yeah, man, that's all I have to say right now. So, the Remy out.